Hello and welcome. You're watching Markets Today with me, Sakshi, here on Business Today TV. Well, it's the start of yet another week, although we have started on a very, very volatile note. In fact, if you see, the last week was a true bloodbath that we saw on some of the days, including Friday when we saw a 1,000 point cut on the markets. It was all due to the global markets and the fear against interest rate hikes, aggressive rate hikes coming in from the US, looking at the steep inflation still. And that exactly created nervousness across the globe. Even today, when you see after Friday's red close of the US markets, we've actually seen the Asian markets open on a mixed note. Indian markets are very, very volatile to start off with. The Sensex and the Nifty trading in a very, very volatile zone. The Sensex up by 148 points or 0.3%, 148 points or 0.3% down in trade at 58,636. The Nifty was down 50 points or again 0.3% in trade to just trade slightly below that 17,550 odd mark. Which are the stocks that are in focus? Well, it's Bajaj Finserv, Mahindra and Mahindra, Infosys, State Bank of India, Axis Bank, IndusInd Bank, and Power Grid among the top gainers on the Nifty index. While on the other hand, you have UltraTech Cement, Asian Paints, Titan, Tata Steel, HCL, and Maruti Suzuki as the top laggards of the index. Well, if you talk about the sectors, there again, PSU banks taking the lead, banking stocks shine bright, but what's not doing well is the pharma stocks today and the metal stocks as well. Very, very volatile trade coming about. In terms of the market breadth, you have 32 advances to 18 declines and 17,600 being seen as the level now on the Nifty. It's slowly inching up 0.4% of a trade right here on the upside when you talk about the Nifty index. How are the broader markets performing? Well, the small cap and the mid cap index are just trading slightly above the flat line at 0.1% or 0.2% in trade on the upside. India Wix, that's the one that you need to watch out for. 2.5% uptick, and it is trading above 20.3 levels. That's the level that you will actually tell you what exactly is going to happen in the market. India Wix, that's the index you need to watch out for. 20.3. Whenever in historically we've seen India Wix really trading above that 20 zone, the volatility is steep, and that's what exactly we are witnessing right now. So the markets recovered after opening low. There are some stocks far and few between, like Reliance, Infosys, really helping the markets inch high, including their weightage as well. Now, what exactly is going to be the focus of this entire week? Well, for one, the markets will be tracking global markets and the US Fed's decision on the interest rates. That will definitely set the mood for the markets through this week as well. Now, when we move forward, apart from this, we also do know that domestically there are fears that the markets will be reacting to any kind of indications of US markets slipping into recession or European markets slipping into recession. In case that happens, or a slowdown or a steep slowdown happens, then the markets could get slightly impacted. But otherwise, India has definitely been an outperforming market. We've seen very, very strong move on the markets as well. Whether likely or not this will continue in the second half of this financial year is something that all the investors are looking to grab the indications of. Now, domestically, we also know that the government has reduced the windfall tax on crude oil to 10,500 rupees from 13,000 rupees a ton. So that's going to be the focus, especially stocks like ONGC are going to be reacting to that. On the other hand, like I said, the growth pangs and the slowdown pangs still exist. So Goldman has cut the US growth forecast for 2023 after the rate path change. They now believe that the forecast of 1.5%, they have actually reduced it now. So the projection for 2022 was left unchanged at 0%. Goldman has raised the federal funds rate forecast by 75 basis points over the last 2 weeks, and a terminal rate forecast of 4% to 4.2% by the end of 2022. So keep that in mind as well. Oil prices definitely were seen climbing on the weak dollar and the supply concerns. FIIs, they have turned net sellers again in the last week. In fact, if you see, the FIIs have been on a selling spree. On Friday, we did see a 3,260 crore rupees of a sell-off by the FIIs in that steep sell-off as well. India's current account deficit, that's the number, macro number you need to watch out for in India today. That's likely to remain within 3% of GDP as per the RBI bulletin, because there are wide concerns on the current account deficit and the trade deficit as well as we look at the slowing exports growth also for the country. Let's now talk about some of the stocks that you need to watch out for. I said ONGC. That's the stock you need to watch because the crude windfall tax cut to 10,500 rupees as well. And ATF and diesel export duties are also cut. So this space and the aviation space could actually perform on the better side. Ambuja Cements, that's one stock that you need to watch out for. Of course, there's been a whole host of churn that's happening on the management level, the entry of billionaire Gautam Adani into the cement space. So keep that space in your watch list as well. M&M, that's the stock you need to watch out for. It sold 30% in Mahindra Susten to Ontario Teachers Pension. So that stock could be in focus because of the money coming in. Inox Wind, that stock you need to watch because the sources are saying that so Inox Green Energy has gotten a SEBI nod 40 crore rupees IPO going forward from here. So that stock could be in focus going forward. Wellspun Corp, again, it is bagged an order for carbon capture pipeline project in the US. That stock could be in the green. HDFC Life, NCLT nod for the merger of Excite Life into the company. Again, some positive news flow coming in. Again, logistics companies, logistics policy has been announced over the weekend, and that's what you need to watch out for. This space could well be in focus. Defense companies, the army has invited companies to offer critical equipment for emergency procurement. So more and more companies to come in right there. That could be positive too. What's not going to do well? Well, Cipla, it's gotten 3 repeat observations from US FDA for the Goa plant. So pharma stocks under pressure. Maruti could be in pressure because it has decided to recall 5,000 super carry vehicles manufactured between May 4th and July 30th, 2022. That's going to be in focus as well. Largely, the market's volatile early in the early trading action. Whether or not this will turn into a one-way flight in the second half is something we'll keep an eye out on. So do stay tuned on to Business Today TV to catch all the buzzing street updates right here on your screens. Thanks a lot for tuning in for now.